really quick. So again, just going to review because neither one of us were here, and I just want to make sure that you guys understand it. Please don't talk. Factoring difference of squares is very simple. I'm going to start with number 2 just to go over it one more time. You want to break this down. So remember, we always want to break it down to see if we have a GCF. It's the one behind it. So from your, yeah, there you go. I know. I'm just reviewing over it. And then 4 is a 2 times 2. So if you guys notice, there are 2 of each. It's doubles, XX and 2, 2. So what I call this is pairs and share. If you watch the video, that's exactly what I said in the video. You can take your notes, you can do it. So what you do is you share the X in the front to both parentheses. You share the 2's in the back, because the X is in the front, the 2's are in the back. One is positive, one is negative. That is it. That's it. Does it get any harder than that? The only thing you have to do later on is take out a GCF. So no, it doesn't really get any harder than that. Yeah, girl, that's what I said. That's it. Okay. Here on number 4, we have 2 X's. And then 16 is 4 and 4. So there's already pairs. So we're going to share it in each set of parentheses. The front gets an X. The back gets a 4. One is positive. One is negative. That's literally all you do. If you look at number 3, it just has a number in front, but 25 is 5 and 5 and 2 X's. And then 4 is 2 and 2. So now you can see a pair of 5s, a pair of X's, and a pair of 2's. The 5's and the X's are in the front. So if we share, the 5 and the X is in the front, the 2 is in the back, 1 is positive, 1 is negative. That is it. Okay, don't make it any more complicated than that. That's why I said it should have been easy for you to go, like, just to pick up on. So it wasn't a big deal that I was going to be out. All right. Now, if you look at number 6 and we try to break it down, I have a 5 and 2 P's. A minus 20 is 2 times 10. 10 is 2 and 5. Notice we don't have pairs, but what do we have? A 5 in common. You have a GCF. Once I get that GCF out, what do I have then? You see the pairs. So in the front, you're going to have a P. In the back, you're going to have a 2. One is positive, one is negative. So if you will break it down, you will see that. Same thing on number 8. I have a 3 and 2 V's. We have a minus. 12 is 2 times 6. 6 is 2 times 3. I don't see pairs, but what do I see? The 3. So that goes on the outside. Now I see pairs. So in the parentheses, a V goes in the front and a 2 in the back. One is positive, one is negative. You ready? Good? Go ahead and put your phone away if you're going to text on it, please. That's it. That was yesterday. So in a nutshell, that's how quick it is. It's real quick. So watch that GCF to begin with, and then pairs and share.
Oh, Anna. Like it may have 81 minus 7 squared.
Like the letter in the back.
This will have the letter in the back. So it could be like 81 minus 7 squared.
Like this.
Yeah, instead of like, you can have like 4 squared too. I'm trying to.
Like this?
Let me go through. It's supposed to look like that.
So like it might have this?
Yeah, it can have that.
Okay, so that's just XX 4 and 4. So if you guys see that, does that make sense? So if they have the 4 squared, just write it 4. All right, so then what we're doing today is factoring completely. So you're doing everything all at once, everything that we've learned. So the first thing that you want to do is always check for a GCF. Then the second thing that you want to do is factor, but there's a bunch of different ways that we've learned to factor. So if we have 2 terms, after we pull out the GCF, that's what we just did. It may be pairs and share. If we have 3 terms, it's either going to be that cheater method where we find factors of the last to add to the middle, or it's going to be slide and divide. What's the difference? Cheater method doesn't have that number in the very front, and slide and divide, you have to slide the number over when you have it. Okay, so we've learned all of these. And then the last one we had was 4 terms. And that was the grouping or the backwards box. You guys liked the box. So whichever one. So that's kind of your cheat sheet. Always try to pull the GCF out first. Hopefully that'll give you a cheater method instead of slide and divide. That's why we want to do it. And then if we're doing grouping, you want to pull that GCF out first and then use the box. All right. Is everybody good? You got all, oh, no. Everybody got it right down now? Yep. Okay. So look at your first one. The first thing that I always do is break it down at the top. So we have 5 and 2 ends plus 25 is 5 and 5 and an n. And 120 is 12 times 10. 12 is 2 times 6, which is 2 and 3. And 10 is 2 and 5. You guys know how to break that down. We've been doing that for a couple of days now. Do they have anything in common? Yep. So that 5 comes to the outside. And inside, you just write down what you have left. N squared plus 5n plus 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12, times 2 is 24. And you can do all that in your calculator. So we're not done. What we did was pull out our GCF so we could do cheater method now because there's no number in front. So what are your factors of 24 that add to 5? So factors of 24 that add to 5. And that's on your calculator, and I don't even have one. So if y'all need one, jump up and get it. Remember to do that. We just put it in our calculator. 24 divide x. And 24 divide x plus x. When we go to our table, we're looking for 5 in the red column. There's a positive 25, 10, 9. Did y'all see a 5? This is as good as it gets. It won't do anything else. So we just box it in and be done. Oh, I lied. I lied. Here's what I did. It should be a minus. It should be a minus. So now it's factors of negative 24. I'm sorry, y'all. That's how my day's going today. So just bear with me. It's been a day. I'm telling you. I couldn't even get on Canvas this morning. My password wouldn't reset. I even had Jenny come in here. She couldn't get it to do it either. I finally started class like 20 minutes late this morning. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. Here's your positive 5. Your positive 5 is on 8 and negative 3. So leave the 5 out. This factors into a positive 8 and a negative 3. This should be your final answer, not that. Sorry, y'all. That's the difference a sign makes. All right. So let's try to do this next one correctly. My fault. I'm sorry. So on number 2, first thing we want to do is find the GCF. So we just break it down on top. You may have one, you may not. You just don't know. So this is 2, 2, K, K, plus, get the signs right, Miss Jones. 8 is 2, 2, 2, and K. And then we have a minus, and 140 is 14 and 10, which is 2 and 7, 2 and 5. Sorry, trying to not squish it up, but I can't help it. Do you see anything in common? How many?
2.
2 2s. So what's 2 times 2?
4.
So we have a 4 for a GCF. That left us with k squared plus 2k minus 7 times 5 is 35. This might be all we can do, but we're going to check if there are factors of the last that add to the middle because we have 3 terms and there's no number in front. So we're going to find factors of negative 35 and see if we have a 2. What are my 2 factors? So a positive 7 and a negative 5. That's your final answer. Don't forget your 4 in front. Three and 4 the exact same way. Okay, exact same way. So we have 40x squared minus 284 plus 28. I know 40 is 4 and 10. So 2 and 2, 2 and 5, and 2 x's. I don't know my factors of 284. So I'm going to put them in my calculator like this, just that first part. And I'm going to try to find some that I'm good at. I think 4 and 71 is as good as it's going to get. 71 won't break down. I know that. If you don't, you can put it in your calculator and see that 1 and 71 is your own. That's the only one you get. Everything else is decimals. So that's how you know. All right. And then 28, we have a plus. Don't forget your x in there. I just wrote it down, didn't talk about it. 28 is 7 times 4 or 7, 2, and 2. What do they have in common? 2 2s. So that means we take out a 4. What did that leave us with?
25.
It's not 25. What is it?
Oh, 2.
2 times 5 is 10 and 2 x's. Minus, we have a 71x. And then we have a 7 in the back. Now, what's different about this set of parentheses compared to the other 2 that we had? See how this one is n squared plus 5n minus 24. This one is k squared plus 2k minus 35. This one is 10x squared minus 71x plus 7. What's different? It has a number in it, right? It has a number in front. So this is one we have to do slide and divide. So maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We're going to try. So we're going to slide this over. We get x squared minus 71x. 10 times 7 is 70. Do I have factors of 70 that add to negative 71? Oh, there it is. What are they? Wait a minute, I didn't put my number in. Negative. I told y'all that's how my day's going. Still going to be close to that. Negative 71. I shouldn't have to go this far up, but I think I missed it on the other end. Why is it not showing? Oh, I had it right the first time. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. Positive 70. So there should be my factors. What are my factors of 70 that add to negative 71? Negative 1 and negative 70. And then I did slide. Now I have to divide. Don't forget to divide. All right. Will 1/10 reduce? No, so I just slide that 10 to the top. So 10x minus 1. What is 70 divided by 10? And then bring down the 4. I'm sorry, I got to get it together. All right, number 4 is the same way. You're going to end up with a number in front. Okay, you're going to end up with a number in front. What are your factors of 8? 3, 2. So 2, 2, 2. We have an N and N. We have plus 66 is 6 and 11. 6 is 2 and 3. 11 won't break down in an N. And then 16 is 2 and 8. And 8 is 3 2s. What is in common?
There's 2 2s.
Is it 2 2s?
No, it's 1 2.
Just one. So that's going to come outside. That leaves you with 4n squared. 2 times 2 is 4 and 2 n's. 3 times 11 is 33. And 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Since we have a number in front, we have to slide and divide. So we get n squared plus 33n plus 32. You need to find factors of 32 that add to 33. I will go ahead and tell you that they are positive 32 and positive 1. I did slide. What do I need to remember to do?
Divide.
Divide by 4. 32 divided by 4 is 8. 1/4 won't reduce, so we slide that 4 up to the front and it becomes 4n plus 1. And then the last thing is don't forget your 2. What I would suggest is if you're doing this in EDIA, that you go ahead and type that 2 in once you take it out and then do your parentheses after that. All right. So even with 5 and 6, you want to do GCF, but there's only 2 terms. So we're hoping we can do GCF. Maybe that'll be all we can do. Or maybe we can do GCF and then pairs and share. Got it? So there's the only 2 things that you can do with 2 terms. So if we look at the first one, it's 8n squared and 50. 8 is 3 2s and 2 n's. William. Somebody wake him up.
Whoa.
Wake up. You should be taking notes. Josh, you taking notes? No, you're not. Is everybody good? 50 is 5 and 10 and a 2. Don't forget your 2.
Oh, yeah.
What's in common?
It's 1 2.
1, 2. So that's going to come out. What do you notice that you left?
What does it 4?
You have pairs, right? 2 2s, 2 n's, 2 5s. So I'm going to share. What goes in the front?
4.
Not 4, but what do they have 2 of?
Wait.
They had a 2 of what?
2.
A set of
2.
2s. That goes in the front. A set of n's and a set of 5s go in the back. They look exactly the same. Only one is positive, one is negative. That's as good as it gets.
Wow.
All right. 8r squared minus 18. 8 is 3 2s and 2 r's. We have a minus. 18 is 2 times 9. 9 is 3 and 3. Again, you know how to break them down, so I know I'm going through that quick, but you can do that yourself. What do they have in common? 1, 2. So that goes on the outside. What do you notice we left?
2 and a 3.
2 2s, 2 r's, 2 3s, right? So share them. What goes in the front?
2 R.
2 r. That is perfect. What goes in the back?
3.
A 3. 1 is positive. 1 is negative. That's your final answer. Those are the easy ones. That's all you did yesterday. Okay, so that little section right there, those 2 problems are what I should have taught yesterday. All right, and then the last one, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I don't think we'll do them all. We'll do a couple of them because they're exactly the same. Let's just do 7 and 8, and then we'll hold off on 9 and 10. They're exact same way, okay? They're the exact same way. But I'm going to grab some paper and do it on paper because I'm going to do that reverse box for you guys. All right, and I want to make it big enough that you can see it. I'm going to squish it in. All right. So let me find a clean piece of paper in here. I'm just going to write the problem down. 28n cubed minus 24n squared plus 28n minus 24. All right, so we do our big box. And again, I'm going to make mine huge so that you guys can see it. You don't have to do yours this big. Your 28n cubed goes in one box, negative 24n squared, 28n, and negative 24. All right, we're going to break it down. Factors of 28 are 7 and 4, so 2 and 2, and 3 n's. When we get a negative, we have negative 1. 24 is 2 and 12. 12 is 2 and 6. 6 is 2 and 3. And we have 2 n's. We already did 28. It was 7, 2, and 2, but this one only has 1 n. And then we already did negative 24. Was negative 1. And don't forget the 3 that I wrote at the bottom. Is there anything in all 4 boxes?
2.
How many of them?
2.
2 2s. That's your GCF. So anything in all 3 boxes is going to be your GCF. So what is 2 times 2?
4.
So we're going to write that down. That's part of my answer. We don't need those anymore, so we're not even going to look at them. So I got it? Top to bottom, what's in common? 7 and an n. Top to bottom, what's in common here? A negative 1, a 2, and a 3. What's 2 times 3? And a negative 1. Negative 6. That's your first parenthesis. Along the side, what's in common? 2n. So n squared. On the bottom?
Nothing.
Nothing. So we put,
A 1.
is it positive or negative?
Negative.
Look at it. It's positive because this box is positive. Got it? There's no negative coming out of any of this. So your second factor is n squared plus 1. That's it. That's the box. You guys remember that. So anytime we have 4 terms, that's how we're going to do it. Check for something in common in all of them. So then number 8, I'm writing it down. If you can't see it, I'll move it in just a second. It was 32a cubed plus 48a squared plus 28a plus 42. Make this big box. We have 32a cubed, 48a squared. Everything is positive, so your answer should be all positive. Everything should be positive. 32 is 8 times 4. 8 is 3 2's. 4 is 2 2's. And 3 a's. Okay. 48 is 6 times 8. 6 is 2 and 3. 8 is 3 2's and 2 a's. $28 is 4 times 7, so 227 and an A. And 42 is 6 times 7, so 2 times 3 and 7. Anything in all 4 boxes? Just How many twos?
One.
Just one two, just one two.
Yeah, because the last.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. And then we don't need it. All right, what do we have in common top to bottom?
2 and an 8.
2 and an A. Just 1, 2, and 1 A, no 7. What about this box?
A 3 and an 8.
Is there an A in this one?
Oh no, a 3.
Just a 3. So everything is positive. 2A plus 3 is your first one.
Because the other box has 1 girl.
See, we took these off. We took these off. Look,
The
We
one
took
that
these
goes
off.
up and down?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We switched those off.
Yeah.
We're using them on-
yep, so we don't use those anymore. Once we pull it out, we don't use it. So mark it. All right, across, what do we have across? Shh, shh, shh. 3 2s, which is 8. And what else? 2 A's. Across this way, what do we have in common?
The 7.
Just a 7. There's your other factor, 8A squared plus 7. So that's your box. So again, none of this page is new stuff. We've already done all of it. Y'all good?
Mhm.
All right. Zoomers, I'm going to stop sharing, stop recording.